everyone! Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the films that I watched in December and what I thought about them. I've been seeing many videos like this online, and since I've been challenging myself to watch more new films, I thought I'd share my finds from December. The first film I watched in December was Microhabitat, a South Korean drama. The film follows the character of Miso, who, in a quest to save money so she can continue buying cigarettes and whiskey, gives up her housing and couch surfs with members from her old band. The film explores serious concepts of homelessness, the rising cost of living, and poverty, but is balanced by a good sense of humor and quick pacing. Overall, Microhabitat is a good coming-of-age film about those who choose to seek happiness outside of conventional pathways and expectations. 3 stars. Next, I watched The Recorder Exam, a South Korean short film. This is a realistic, tender look at family through the eyes of a 9-year-old as she prepares for a recorder exam at school. Even though the story is told from the perspective of a child, there are many harsh and melancholic scenes that are difficult to watch. However, I appreciated the realism and the emotion and thought that it really captured the sadness and struggles of family that even at such a young age one can understand. The recorder exam clocks in at just under 30 minutes and is well worth a watch. 4 stars. Next, I rewatched what is probably my favorite documentary of all time, Bright Lights, starring Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds. Released posthumously after Carrie and Debbie passed away, the documentary traces their weird and wonderful relationship over the years and gives us a special look into some of their final moments. In my eyes, this documentary is pretty much perfect. The film is warm, funny, and a little bit crazy, just as any documentary about Hollywood families should be. The film has such a wicked charm and classic showmanship that I feel captures the essence of who both Carrie and Debbie were completely. I give it 5 stars. Next, I watched The Holiday Calendar from Netflix, my one and only holiday film that I watched all month. I picked it because it seemed a bit different from the standard Christmas movie format, but it just ended up being very similar. The film has all the fantasy, romance, and cheesiness that you would come to expect from these Lifetime-style Christmas movies, but overall it was a pretty easy and pleasant watch. There isn't much to say, but I give it 2 stars. Next, I watched Love Intuda, an Italian drama from the 1960s. Love Intuda is considered one of the best films of all time, and it follows the disappearance of a woman, Anna, on holiday, and her partners Sandro and best friend Claudia as they try to find her but end up falling for each other instead. Even though at many times I was admittedly bored throughout this film, I can appreciate that it's an excellent film and understand why it's regarded as a true essential of Italian and foreign cinema. The cinematography and score were particular highlights for me, and I would encourage everyone to watch just for the beautiful sweeping shots of Italian towns and villages. The pacing and the loose plot may deter or annoy some viewers, but the film is a true slow burn that is well worth a watch. 4 stars. Next, I watched Italian American, a documentary from the legend himself, Martin Scorsese. I feel like this watch was done out of some sort of retaliation, because every time I hear this Marvel versus Martin Scorsese discourse come up, I feel some sort of need to watch a Scorsese film and remind myself of why he is one of the best directors of all time. Italian American is a very simple documentary. All it is really is Martin Scorsese at home, interviewing his parents as they prepare and share a meal together. Together, they share stories of cooking, immigration, and growing up in New York City. It's warm, charming, funny, and a perfect introduction if you're looking to know more about Martin Scorsese as a director, but also as a person. 5 stars. Then I watched Nadia in Paris, a short film by Eric Romer, which follows university student Nadia as she flaneurs her way around Paris and shows you her favorite hangouts and neighborhoods. I love Eric Romer's films and his very relaxed, conversational style of filmmaking, but I look at this short as a 1960s version of a Paris travel vlog. It's okay, but there's not much to it. In saying that though, I'd certainly watch Nadia in Paris rather than Emily in Paris. 3 stars. Next, I watched Don't Look Up, the comedy drama about 2 astronomers who go on a press tour to warn the world about a catastrophic asteroid. I have pretty mild feelings about this film. I definitely had some laughs, but overall, I didn't really warm to it or enjoy it in the way that I've seen others enjoy it. In my opinion, the film came across a little bit try-hardish, and it doesn't do itself many favors when it feels like it's mocking the people that it's trying to help. It's no wonder that people don't want to listen to the message of the film or take it seriously when you spend the whole runtime of the film making fun of them. The film also reminds me a lot of Downsizing from Alexander Payne, which was released a few years ago. Both films were trying to tackle these really enormous themes of politics, climate, culture, and economy, but in shooting for these themes, forget to focus on the characters, and as a result, the entire story just feels a bit empty. So I have to give this one 2.5 stars. Then I watched 2-1, a drama which follows 2 men, one in Shanghai and one in Vancouver. As one person goes to sleep, the other wakes to begin their day. So we go back and forth between the two until they meet. Basically, to spoil it, both men are not able to be awake at the same time. So when they meet, things become a bit crazy. You spend the majority of the film waiting to see how their stories cross, and when they do, it finally gets more exciting, but then quickly descends into just complete silliness. I feel like this story could have been better as a short, where the story would have been a bit more contained and structured, and we as the audience would not have been as bored. 1.5 stars. The final film I watched in December and in 2021 was The Coward by Satyajit Ray. The film is about a screenplay writer whose car breaks down and is offered to stay the night with a local man. When he visits the man's house, he sees that he has married his ex-girlfriend, and he spends the night reflecting on his past relationships and how much of a coward he was. Even in its restraint, the film is able to convey really, really strong emotions of loss and yearning, and is incredibly moving. The look of this film is probably the best amongst all the films that I've seen in December. The composition and the lighting of some of the shots are really beautiful and inventive. I really enjoyed watching this film, and I look forward to watching more of Ray's films. 4 stars. So there you are, all the films I watched in December 2021. I encourage you to check the films out for yourself and see what you think. Thank you for listening.